As one of the favourites to win, Ella Henderson's exit from the X Factor finals 2 years ago was described as one of the biggest shocks the show had ever seen.
The 18-year-old, though, has proved that winning certainly isn't everything. She picked up famous fans, such as Adele and Cher, made it to #1 with her debut single. She's about to launch her first album. We're going to talk to Ella, who's fresh back from, what, Australia, New Zealand, the US. You got back 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Looking fresh. Let's remind our viewers of that breakthrough hit, Ghost. That's a bit of a creepy image. Seems quite a while ago that's out. Now you're launching your first album, new single.
I know. Everything's just gone so quickly. It's really happened rapidly, but in such a short space of time, I never thought I'd be at this point releasing my album and everything.
And also from a point where you didn't, or it must have felt that you hadn't made it with the X Factor, and then to get to a #1, how did it happen?
I think the main thing with me was, I was 16 when I came off the show X Factor, so it was just about taking my time with everything. Whether it took me 3 months or 3 years, it didn't matter. It was just a case of, this is something that I've wanted to do from a very young age and dedicated my life to music. It didn't just start from my first audition on the show. It started a long time before that, so I had to make sure that if I was going to do this, I'm doing it the right way and the way I've always wanted to do it. And I think it's just the mindset as well of feeling physically and mentally prepared to go into the music industry, because at a young age it can feel just really daunting, and I wanted to have more of an understanding of it and, figure out my sound and my music.
And what is your sound?
My sound?
Because I say that because on the album there is a wide variety of styles of song, isn't there? Some are much slower, more like kind of jazz, which very much suits your voice, and then there are much more up-tempo numbers as well.
I'd say that my style is overall just something that is quite soulful, real and raw. I think the whole time I was writing this album, I just wanted to capture something that felt like he was in the room with me. When I think of the music that I listened to growing up, it's just believable. And
what stuff was that? What did you listen to?
I used to listen to quite a bit of, my granddad used to play old vinyls on his record player, so I'd listen to a lot of Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday and swing music. But yeah, growing up I was surrounded by all different types. Like my mum was Motown, my dad was 80s Duran Duran, so I was constantly surrounded by different styles.
How do you square having a style that's soulful, I think quite funky and you say raw, with then being faced with a popular market that you need to address, like with something like your last single, which was much more poppy, upbeat, as Charlie says, which is quite a contrast to where perhaps your voice naturally sat or sits?
Well, I think, although like my roots are from listening to that old kind of music, I love music of today. And for me, it was about figuring out what my style is and how I was going to fit into the music industry. That's what I had to figure out in the last 2 years.
Were you conscious that you needed to fit into the music industry to succeed?
No, because my first audition song was one of my original songs, and to have the acceptance of the standing ovation at that point kind of threw a little bit of confidence in me to think, you know what, like I'm just going to keep going with this, and if it works, it works, and if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. I'm a great believer in whatever happens, everything happens for a reason.
Is Simon Cowell your manager?
He's my label boss.
Label boss?
Yeah, for my record label.
So how does that work? How do people are always fascinated by those kind of relationships? I mean, if you do something, like, I don't know, you're here on BBC Breakfast and there's 7 million people will see you, and do they get in touch afterwards? Does he get in touch afterwards and sort of say, like that, you're doing the right thing, came across really well, or is it very hands-off? How does that, because you're only 18 years old, I mean, how does that relationship work?
It's different with everybody. I mean, with me, the first time I met him, he just wanted me to really feel like I was going to enjoy this process and chill out within it all. So he's been very laid back with me, and kind of I'll just get the odd phone call every now and again, and he's always there to congratulate me on big things that are happening, or to, wish me luck when I'm nervous about something. And like during the process of writing my album, he wouldn't hear anything until I felt like it was ready to be heard and get feedback. And it kind of worked like that, and it was a really nice, relaxed feeling. I didn't feel under any pressure or anything, which was really nice. And you don't expect. So
it's not the machine that churns out. You don't feel like you're part of a machine that just is churning out hits, so to speak.
From my experience, no. And I would say that I honestly didn't expect at such a young age to have what I've got right now within the music industry, because I did assume that I would be very controlled, but going in on the terms of, you know, I have to write my music, I have to be creatively involved with everything, whether it's visually, whether it's my music video, whether it's, you know, my image, I have to be involved with it because I want it to come from the heart from me. I want people to believe it. I think people have had enough of being conned.
And on the kind of pinch yourself, this is really happening to me in my life, what are the moments that stand out? I was thinking, we said in the lead-in that Cher, what did she tweeted? Did she like your voice?
She did.
I mean, which are the moments when you have to go, blimey, that's me, this is happening?
I think, well, I've just got back from Australia, and that was my very first trip out to the other side of the world, and, you know, stepping on a turf where I've never been before, and my song's gone platinum out there, and it was just ridiculous to go somewhere
and
where...
you hear it on the radio?
Yeah, it's really surreal hearing that.
I wonder how you feel about the pressure, though, for the next one, because you started big, didn't you? I mean, let's let our viewers have a listen to Ella's new single. It's called Glow. Any pressure? Because you started at the, you know, you started with the #1, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's got to be in the back of your mind, what if it doesn't?
No, I think Ghost was unexpected to, you know, like when I wrote Ghost, I wrote that with Ryan Tedder from OneRepublic, and in the studios writing together, it was this feeling of we were so excited, so proud of it. And I think when you're at that point with a song, when you go to release it, it doesn't matter the outcome. And, you know, when I did go to release it and it did shoot to #1, it was the biggest, surreal, unexpected moment of my life. And yeah, Ghost has opened a lot of doors for me and all these amazing opportunities. Like, it's sending me off to all different places in the world. I'm being able to travel and stuff. So I guess I'm trying to throw any worries or pressure off my shoulders, because I think, you know, otherwise you're not going to enjoy the process of it all. And I'm excited, you know. Glow's very different to Ghost. It's kind of like another side to me. It's a lot more electronica sounding, and I'm excited for people to hear these different sounds off the album.
Lovely to see you here this morning. Thank you very much for
Thank
coming in.
you.
Enjoy the
Good
rest of the
luck.
whirlwind that is happening to you.
Thank you.
Ella Henderson's new single is called Glow. It's from her debut album, Chapter 1.
We're back tomorrow at 6.
Have a
Bye-bye.
lovely day.